And we are live here today in a rainy day in Italy. We've got the Formula 1 Grand Prix in Italy for the 7th round this season of the 2023 Formula 1 Grand Prix season. And we are live here today in Italy. It's pouring down the rain, 24 degrees, very wet the track around the whole Formula 1 here today. As we got 11 turns, we've got 3.55 miles per round the whole track in this huge race here in Mozzo here in Italy. And this could be a very epic race, of course, of lots of cars are going to compete one another. Can Bottas retain his status, of course, as win his 7th consecutive Grand Prix? That could happen, of course, on the table here today in this Formula 1 Grand Prix. As Bottas, of course, got 155 points, as Hamilton's got 103, and Max Verstappen's got 90. And now, these are the official opponents will be involved in this Formula 1. We are going to have starting first. In first position to start the race, we got is Bottas, the winner of the Formula 1 of the last 6 rounds. We've got Lewis Hamilton, we've got Max Verstappen, and also Alexander Albon in the top 4 positions to start off the race. In 5, 6, and 7, 8, we have is Sergio Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, and Lance Stroll. And also we've got Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, Ocon and Kvyat. And also we have is Kimi Raikkonen, Kevin Magnussen, Roman Grosjean and George Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi, Kevin Nicholson and Charles Leclerc at the end of the starting race here today. On your marks, get set, go, 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 go. And here we are, we're live in the Formula 1 race and all the drivers, the 20 drivers across the whole track are racing here today in Monza, Italy. And now it looks like a lot of the cars trying to take each other apart. Kevin Nicholson's trying to push himself up towards the track here in this start of the race. It is raining, of course, here in Italy. It's going to be very hard for all the drivers to try and contain themselves in this track because they can spin off, they can, because the high rain and winds here in Italy and Monza. This could have been postponed, this race, it could have been, but it's going to carry on. And looks like now we've got, obviously here, Albon, Verstappen in 3rd position, Hamilton in 2nd, Bottas in 3rd still. He was to win his 7th consecutive race this Formula 1 season. There's no other driver apart from Bottas has won every single Formula 1 so far in the 2023 season. Then they'll turn around the curve now, all the drivers now in this race, they turn on the track. Another turn there from him. An update right now that Grosjean's climbed up the table, Russell's now climbed up to sell up the 15th position in the race. And Grosjean moves up to 13th in the race right now in this Formula 1 track. And now they are going towards the end of the first lap of the race here in this Formula 1 track. Now a turn right there from Kevin Nicholson. Currently sitting 17th position here in the race, 17th position in the race. Kevin Nicholson holding on in 17th position very nicely there. The nice pouring down the rain here. A lot of cars will struggle. But that's the end of the first lap right now. We're going to lap number 2 in the race. Lap number 2 in the race. Now in the second part of the lap now, the Formula 1 track. Now they turn here, all the drivers here, and obviously Red Bull right there, obviously there. Alexander Albon currently in 4th position in the race, outside in the podium position. He's trying to aim to hopefully push above Max Verstappen by the end of this race right now. And Red Bull obviously there, Alexander Albon. He's really trying to chase on there to Max Verstappen here in the race. We've got now Russell climb up the 13th here. Grosjean's the 12th position in the race so far. They turn down the curve here. And now Leclerc now climbs up from 19th place to 20th to 19th in the race. And you see there Bottas is really running away with it. He's running away from the race he is at the moment. As we know that obviously down the bottom we have is Kevin Nicholson in 17th position and Giovinazzi in 18th. They're both really chasing up that 17th, 18th position in the race. Nice turn around the curb here. And now we can turn there as well from Nicholson. And then George Russell there trying to chase on against Grosjean and also Ocon as well in this Formula 1 race. Sitting in currently in 13th position in the race so far, George Russell. And now they're going to the end of the second lap of the race. Second lap of the race could be ending here. Now they turn down around the track here in this race. And the drivers want to complete the second lap of the race here today. And now
Now they are now going towards the end of this part of the lap of this Formula 1 race. We know that Bottas is really at the top and there's no one can stop him. That's the end of that second lap of the Formula 1 race. Now Sebastian Vettel, he's trying to chase on here on Norris, of course in 9th position. He's in 10th position so far. Not really Sebastian Vettel's position to be at. He was in 3rd position throughout some of the part of the current season so far in Formula 1. He did quite well in the other races. He was part of the podium. But he's in 10th position so far in this race. Not looking good for Sebastian Vettel, the German. Now another turn right now in the corner right now from him. And now it's like now Nicholson now turns around that curve here. And now it's like now Nicholson's now chased on here onto Kvyat. And now Kvyat's dropping down of course in the grid in this Formula 1 race. And now it's like now here Charles Leclerc representing Ferrari. He's now turning around the curve. We know that Leclerc, however, he's done quite well in the last couple of races. He came 4th he did in the last race he did in the last Grand Prix. He's in 15th position so far in this race. And now we're going to end off here at the end of this 3rd lap of the race right now. The end of the 3rd lap of the race. We are going towards it right now in this Formula 1. Now Magnussen now into 16th position. Nicholson's in 17th position. Now that's going to be the end of that. Now we're in the 4th lap of the race. The 4th lap of the race. We've got 2 more laps to go until the end of the Formula 1. Now Bottas now cutting down the curve right now. He's really holding in 3rd position in this race so far. There's no one can stop this guy so far in this race. All the other drivers have not even came 1st in this Formula 1 driver except from Valtteri Bottas. He turns around the corner of this race. And now he cuts in now. He's holding on very nicely here, this pissing down the rain here in Italy, in Moncio. And he's hanging on there in 3rd position. He's done quite well so far. Max Verstappen cannot catch up to, however, Bottas. And we've got obviously there Albon and also here Lewis Hamilton. And also those two have been holding on in that 3rd and 4th position in this race. And a nice little turn right there from Lewis Hamilton. He's holding on here in 3rd position in this race. And that obviously Max Verstappen representing Racing Bull. And now another turn there again here from Bottas. And that's going to be the end of that. We've got 1 more lap to go of the race here. 1 more lap here in Moncio in Italy. And Bottas completes the 4th lap of the race. We're in the last lap of the race here today. The last lap here in the Formula 1. He turns. A nice turn from Valtteri Bottas here. Now, all the other drivers, however, have actually completed this last. We're going to the last lap of the race. Everyone's completed the last lap of the race here. We want 1 more lap to go left in this Formula 1 race. Valtteri Bottas here now turns around in this raw track here. It was an awkward turn, I've got to say. That's the awkward turn in the whole of the map here in Moncio, the Italian Grand Prix. Is that position right there? So awkward for drivers to go and cut through. But at least he done quite well hanging on that to there, Bottas. Obviously Kevin Nicholson, obviously in 17th position, to turn around that corner. And now it's Bottas, however. Another turn there from him. Another little turn also here. Obviously he's hanging on very nicely here in 1st position. Here we've got all the other drivers. We've got Hamilton, we've got Albon in 4th position, outside the podium position. We've got obviously Perez in 5th position, Daniel Ricciardo in 6th position. So it looks like between Hamilton and Albon, who will get the podium in 3rd position? Because Bottas has no way anyone can stop him. Even Max Verstappen can probably stop him either. So it's a very tough race, I've got to say, between all these Formula 1 drivers here to try and get something by the end of this race. We're almost done here. Now Bottas now in the last bit of the race here. He might win the whole entire thing. He's not that far long left of this race now. He's only around the corner, Bottas. All he has to do is hold on tight. He's got around the corner to go until he comes 1st in the race and completes the race, if he actually manages to do that in this rain here today in Moncio, to win all his consecutive Grand Prix so far this season. And now Bottas now, it's going to be all over any minute now. Bottas wins the Italian Grand Prix, and he does! Complete right there for Bottas. He wins the Formula 1, and again for the 7th consecutive time this season, he's won all Formula 1 races. A big win for Valtteri Bottas, the Finland Formula 1 driver representing Mercedes. and Mercedes have got one better again compared to racing Red Bull and also Renault and McLaren and Ferrari and many more, and they are victorious here in Italy and Moncio here today. And I've got to say, a big victory it was here for Valtteri Bottas, his 7th consecutive victory here in his Formula 1 so far this season. I've got to say, he's the only driver, and Mercedes also, have dominated the whole race. Even a rainy day here today in Italy, it could have been called off, it could have been postponed, but the race carried on going, and it was a rainy day, and I've got to say, a big victory for the Mercedes, and also for Bottas, as he comes first in this Formula 1 race. And now, here's the podium. We've got here Bottas in first. Second, Max Verstappen representing Red Bull Racing. And I've got to say, in third position, Valtteri Bottas. That trophy right there. He lifts it up and celebrates. And let's get it underway. The champagne right now for all the 3 drivers who drove in this podium here. A big victory, I've got to say, right there for Bottas, as he wins for Formula 1 for Mercedes. And look at the league standings here. We have Bottas in first position. Second we got is Max Verstappen. In third in the podium we've got Lewis Hamilton. Fourth outside the podium we've got Alexander Albon. Fifth we have Sergio Perez. Sixth is Daniel Ricciardo. Seventh is Lance Stroll. Eighth is Lando Norris. Ninth is Sebastian Vettel. And 10th position we have is Carlos Sainz, representing Ferrari. In the 11th position, we have in 11th place, we've got Esteban Ocon. We've got is Roman Grosjean in 12th position. 13th is George Russell. 14th is Kimi Raikkonen. In 15th, we've got Charles Leclerc. In 16th, we have is Antonio Giovinazzi. In 17th, we have is Kevin Nicholson. In 18th, we've got is Nicholas Latifi. In 19th, we have Kevin Nicholson. And last position, we have is Daniel Kvyat in 20th position. The next Formula 1 will take place at the 8th round next Grand Prix in Japan on October the 21st. But until then, have a good night. And good night for everyone here in Italy for the Italian Grand Prix. And we'll see you next month.